I'm 23 years old, and I'm a very reserved person. I don't like to interact with other people, but I don't hate anyone. I've never been angry with a person because I assume that if you don't interfere with my life, everything is fine. I have, however, always been very close to my 17-year-old brother, even though he is very different from me, athletic, sociable, etc. And we have always shared our stuff since birth. Recently, he has started to become the little boss of the house, with his parents buying him everything he wants despite his catastrophic grades. He smokes, he drinks, and starts to force me to be mainly a cab driver. This puts a very bad atmosphere in the house, with my mother yelling at him a lot. Fortunately, I bought my dream computer with a lot of work, more than $5,000, and every night I lock myself in my room and code all night long, or playing video games. It's a little bit of quiet time between my very tiring engineering studies and the atmosphere at home. Then comes my 6 months internship in a big city in another country, and at the beginning, I live it very badly because I never left my small city. It was very difficult to live alone in an apartment, but after a few weeks, I really changed, which surprised me. I enjoy going out with people. I feel more confident, and I even changed my clothing style to be more adult, and I love it. The bonus is I've started working out, since I don't have my computer, in my spare time. At the end of my internship, I go back home and find the same atmosphere as before, and nobody notices my change of appearance. I ignore this, and when I arrive at night, I only want to find my computer to avoid the screams, but when I got back to my room, it was not there anymore. So I asked my mother, and she tells me that my brother sold it. I think at that point, my brain just paused. And it was 10 seconds before I asked my mom if this was a joke. She said no, and I start to see red. I teleport to my brother's room and ask him why. He answers that it was to buy sneakers and clothes. And I ask him again, explaining this time that I want to know why he sold my computer because I didn't give him the right to do it, and that I always use it for work. He laughs and tells me that I can buy another one, and that $1,000 is nothing for me. When he tells me he sold it for $1,000, it's worth $5,000. Normally, I would have run away to my room to swear. But here I get angry and grab his laptop before destroying it on the floor. The noise brings back my parents, and my brother yells at me, asking me what happened to me. I yell and explain that he had no right, that he is an ingrate and that I had worked for it, that it was mine. My father angrily tells me to keep my voice down and says that it's just a computer. I told him with all my anger to shut up and that he should realize that it is not normal to steal people's things. I leave angry because even my parents do not support me, and I go to the police to file a complaint. As the value of the goods exceeds $1,000, proven by the purchase order, my brother risks prison because he is now 18 years old. My parents put pressure on me to drop the lawsuit against my brother, but I don't want to be with them anymore, since they consider me a little less than nothing. But I'm not afraid, and I went to the end of the procedure, and my brother must give me back $5,000, plus pay back my lawyer. He should have to do public works to pay back his debt, but my parents paid for him. My whole family hates me more or less now, and I cut off all ties with everyone. I'm now living with a cousin, and I'm about to graduate, so I will soon have a job. I'm in a hurry to leave and not see my family again, which doesn't bother me because of the way they considered me, and I don't think I was wrong, and that my action allowed my brother to question himself on the importance of work. My mother wanted to talk to me the other day, but I just told her that if she wants to be happy, she should quit my dad, and I will be there for her. Hope she makes the good decision. They'll be looking for you to take care of them when they're older, because their son is off doing whatever after bleeding them dry. Keep no contact and live your best life. You did the right thing. You forced them to be responsible. You will not be able to change their behavior, but they will not be able to take advantage of you anymore. It always hurts when you have to cut your family off, but your well-being is more important. If I were you, I'd keep up the no contact, and if they contact you asking for help into moving into an assisted living facility, I'd book them into the cheapest room in the worst-rated facility in the country, and make sure that it is on the opposite side of where you live. And if whenever they question why you don't visit them, just tell them you were there a few weeks ago. My sister-in-law, 16 at the time of this story, is very dramatic. Let's call her Lucy. So, a while ago, edit, 4 years ago, I had a collection of Pandora rings my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, had bought for me as gifts over the first 3 years we were dating. They were an affordable gift of a uni student working a casual job. I was a teen, and I loved them. One Christmas, my husband bought me a very beautiful one, and I had opened it in front of the family like we did every year on Christmas lunch. My sister-in-law immediately shouted, "Oh my God, is that my ring?" Everyone looked confused. I was horrified. My husband was confused the most, and he looked at her and said, "What?" She began insisting it was hers, and that she had lost it, to which my husband responded, "No, the receipt is in the bag." His sister eventually shut up, but she would not let it go. I wore the ring every day for roughly 4 months. Every time Lucy saw me wearing it, she would remind me about how she had lost this ring and thought mine was hers. Lucy was like a dog with a bone. I started staying at my husband's more frequently, and one evening I had a shower at their place and left my ring in the bathroom. The next day I went back to get it, and it had mysteriously disappeared. Of course, I confronted Lucy. I just asked, "Hey, have you seen my ring?" She responds, "No, why would I?" I let it go. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe it was around somewhere. My husband looks for it. Can't find it anywhere. So my stepmother-in-law, let's call her Linda, always does everyone's washing. All the kids and my father-in-law don't do their own, and aren't even capable of folding or putting it away. Linda was putting away Lucy's clothes and noticed something: the ring. Linda confronted Lucy and asked her why there is a ring in her drawer that looks similar to mine. Of course, Lucy denies it and is prepared to die on this hill, screaming that it's hers. I am beyond frustrated, but I say nothing. I let it go. But over the coming weeks, Lucy makes snide remarks, winding me up. It works. Lucy went to school one day when we were home alone. Linda and I decide we are taking the ring back. Linda gets the ring, but I want to make sure. We compare Lucy's other Pandora ring sizes to this one. The size of my ring is different. I check the gift receipt and other rings. It matches. So we steal it back. I wear it. I never take it off. Lucy comes home and doesn't notice. We all have dinner together, and she notices. She immediately begins jumping up and down, screaming it's hers and causing a scene. Husband has had enough at this point. He tells her how it is. Linda backs us up. All step-siblings back us up. However, father-in-law and brother-in-law tell me I'm the a-hole. They say because she is younger and more immature, I should have just let her have the ring. They said it's a cheap ring and I shouldn't be so petty. But it was a gift from my husband. Further info. They said I should have never gone into her room while she wasn't home, and should have just asked her for it. Even when Linda explained she had already asked Lucy where the ring came from, and why she hid it in the drawer. Lucy has done other things like this before. She stole her dad's credit card details and did online shopping. She racked up $1,000 in bills slowly over time, and when father-in-law noticed, he put her on this chore payment plan. Didn't last, and she still hasn't paid back the money years later. Update. We live in another state across the country now and have little to nothing to do with sister-in-law. No effort on her part, and we aren't mad because she kept stealing from me after this. So, am I the a-hole for assuming my sister-in-law stole my ring and then stealing it back from her? Not the a-hole. How could anyone doubt the ring was yours if you had the receipt? That's crazy. And you should give it to her because she's younger? What the actual F? No wonder she acts like this if her father excuses her crappy behavior. Not the a-hole. You made sure it was yours before taking it, and had a witness with you she stole it, and it was returned to the right owner, and being young is not an excuse for being a thief. Not the a-hole. Your father-in-law and brother-in-law are enablers of your sister-in-law's poor and bratty behavior. How different are your ring sizes? You and Linda could have done like a Cinderella's glass slipper. Like, have her try the ring on, and obviously it won't fit, so she'll be exposed as the liar. Although, I would ask her first which ring finger does she wear the ring, and then ask her to put it on. This way, she can't lie and try it on every finger until it fits. And if I were you, I would never take the ring off in their house again. And be cautious if your sister-in-law visits your house. You just might find stuff missing. She seems like that kind of person. My mom, sister, and my sister-in-law have all been planning and organizing my upcoming baby shower. Pretty much everything is done already, and I honestly could not be more grateful to have such a loving bunch in my life caring about me. But here's where things get complicated. So, Thursday night, my parents offered to treat my husband and I to dinner at a new restaurant that opened up in the area. Full disclosure, my husband was in a mood even before we left, so I offered to reschedule, but he insisted that everything was fine, and I was inventing an issue when there wasn't one, so we went. He and my mom both started drinking immediately. My mom's not a big drinker, so she was giddy by her second glass of wine, but she wasn't exactly drunk either. My husband was hitting the wine pretty hard too, but it didn't matter much because he wasn't driving, so why not? Anyway, fast forward to the end of the dinner, and my husband, jokingly, snaps at the waitress to come over to our table. I was mortified. I was a waitress, and I know exactly how it feels to be treated that way. So when she came over, I apologized and told her we'd be making it up in the tip. That's when the crap hit the fan. My husband flipped his lid and told me after she walked away that I'd embarrassed him and made a big deal out of nothing. He was getting loud, but I know him very well and know how to de-escalate his moods, which I was about to do when my mom stepped in and started yelling at him for yelling at me and treating the waitstaff badly. After that, and what started out as a great night quickly turned into one of the worst. My dad had to usher my mom away, and my husband stormed out. My dad was covering the bill, but I left some money for the waitress, and that only pissed my husband off even more. The rest of the night was literally just one enormous argument about how my family and I humiliated him. So the next day I tried to smooth things over because I'm just done with all the stress at this point, and I probably would have made headway, but my mom had left him a voicemail cursing him out and telling him that he's a monster, and he tells me that he wants her out of the shower. I argued at first because she paid for so much of it, and I want her there, but at the same time, he has a point. This is his baby too, and if I told him I didn't want someone at the shower, I'd have that right. It really broke my heart to tell her that she couldn't be in it, and it was only made worse by my sister calling me up and telling me off for making our mom cry when she's done so much. Now she's saying she's not coming either, and it's a toss-up if my brother's coming too. My heart is shattered, but I can't shake this feeling like I don't really have the right to tell my husband that his feelings don't matter when it comes to our baby, and I don't want to shut him out. I feel like I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Yes, the a-hole. Your husband was out of line and seems to be a problem. I don't think your mom would have called him a monster for one incident. Not only was your mom sticking up for you, she's a big reason that the shower's happening to begin with. You should have put your foot down and let her be there. And guess what? It's a two-way street. It's your baby too. So if you want your mother at the shower, she's allowed to be there, regardless if your husband wants her there or not. Yes, the a-hole. You enable your husband's poor behavior and even facilitate it. You should be ashamed of yourself for disinviting your mother from your shower, which she planned and spent money on just to satisfy your a-hole of a husband. Yes, the a-hole. Your mother was trying to stand up for you and the waitstaff. Your husband, on the other hand, doesn't know how to act like a decent human being in public. You're basically punishing your mother for caring about you. My brother and I are extremely close and have been our entire lives. He even introduced me to my husband, and when he started seeing sister-in-law, we clicked instantly. She's literally my best friend in the whole world next to my brother. These are seriously my favorite people. So in December, I found out that I'm pregnant, and sister-in-law was really happy for me, despite the fact she and my brother have been trying for a baby for years, and it hadn't happened for them. Sister-in-law gave me a great idea on how to announce my pregnancy on Valentine's Day. She said if she were to have a baby around this time, this is how she would announce it, and it was a really cute idea, so I went ahead and made preparations to do it. Well, the stars aligned, and she's actually pregnant now too. Yay! And wanted to announce it pretty fast, and on Valentine's Day using the same announcement idea she'd given me. At that point, I had everything set up already. Like pictures were done, and everything was all set to go. So when Valentine's Day came along, I posted it when I woke up. Apparently, that was wrong, since sister-in-law was now really upset that I stole her idea. She's not talking to me now, and my brother is telling me that I was basically an a-hole and need to apologize. I honestly am floored by how much this is blown up, and I feel like I'm the only one who doesn't get it. She still could have done her announcement the way she wanted, so why should I have scrapped my announcement that was already done? Am I the a-hole? Yes, the a-hole. You knew she wanted to use her own idea and didn't even warn her that you wanted to use it too. Instead, you went ahead and did it as soon as you were awake, knowing that you would be the first that way. You are the a-hole, and you know it. Yes, the a-hole. She didn't give you the idea by your own admission. A woman struggling with infertility told you what she wanted to do, and then she said she was pregnant. You surely understood this was her plan. You didn't ask if it was okay, because you knew she'd say no. And you know it's not the same to make the exact same announcement 3 hours after another person did the same. It's a bit disingenuous to pretend she could have just done the exact same thing later in the day, and it would have the same impact. Consider people's feelings. If I show you my dream wedding dress, and you go out and buy the exact same dress to wear to your wedding a day earlier, that's weird. Don't copy people in the same social circles. Don't buy the same prom dress as your best friend. Same thing applies here. Yes, the a-hole. Pick the relationship or the apology. I guarantee the relationship will suffer long-term if you are not able to see what happened was hurtful. I see you had no malice and it was just a misunderstanding, but about an extremely sensitive topic. Have some sensitivity and tact, and apologize, or don't be shocked when this doesn't blow over. By your comments, in no way did she explicitly tell you to steal her idea. She just said how she would do it, and that she was having trouble getting pregnant. Misunderstanding or not, you were never given a direct green light to copy her. Your assumption to use it was under the assumption of her bad fortune. An apology is owed. Update. We spoke and I apologized for being a jerk. She said she was hurt at first, but was more annoyed that she'd have to think of a new idea. So I promised to not only find her a new idea, but I'll fund it and organize it for her. She accepted my apology.